Hello, everyone. March 20th, the year 2020. This is Bill Apter down here at Apter's Alley East and in Apter's Alley South.
I'm Mac Davis. Good to see you, Bill.
You certainly are. And, this is our what do you think? Our question of the week, where we ask you, what do you think? After Mac and I give our opinions, we want to know what you think. But before we came on the air, just about an hour before recording this, I got some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so back in the days of the magazine days, my prime and favorite magazine days, the company was sold by Stanley Weston to a publisher in Pennsylvania, and several of us made the journey to Pennsylvania. I'm not with the magazines, but I'm still in Pennsylvania. Editor Craig Peters, you all know Craig Peters. He appeared on many of the press conferences in Georgia with me. Craig left the magazine business to run away and join the circus at one point. Now he's with Bank of America, and he's still doing marketing and public relations and music reviews and just doing great things. But the one guy who has stayed longer than anyone at Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the current publisher, Stu Sachs, has announced that in June, that's it. He's hanging the typewriter up, the computer up.
Wow.
Stu Sachs is officially retiring. So this
Wow.
ends, at least to me, even though there'll be another person taking his place, to me, this closes the magazine era.
The original regime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least the three horsemen here. Craig Peters, Stu Sachs, Bill Apter, and there were artists and other writers and other editors, etc. But yeah, I feel very, I'm glad he's retiring because he wants to retire, going on his own terms. He didn't lose a loser leave the office championship office wrestling match. That didn't happen. He's retiring on his own terms, and I just want to wish him best of luck in his future endeavors, of course.
Well, good luck, Stu, and we do wish you the best. That's great news to know that he's going out the way he wants to go, too.
Well, we used to always tease Stu when Craig and I used to come back from Georgia. We always put on that Georgia, Alabama accent just to be silly. And
But let me hear your Georgia
well,
accent.
that's and we always used to say, the fans said, "Hi, Stu," and he used to laugh at that all the time. So since you're in Apters Alley South and you're really from down south, how would you say, "Hey, Stu"?
Hey, Stu. What you see on TV usually is nothing like the real
That's
Georgia
right.
folks.
No, I know that.
But
I
there
know
are
that.
people, that's funny because we talk about that, the different South. And the truth is, dialect wise, we're much slower and easier,
Yeah,
and
I know.
you're more apt and revved. But
Yeah.
it's fun to see the different dialects
Wait.
collide.
I'm Apter and Revved, please.
Yeah.
But no, it was because back here when I was living in New York and here in Pennsylvania, you get the accents from the TV shows and you think that's what it's really like. So when I go to Goldberg's Deli, no relation to Bill Goldberg, when I go visit my terrific son in Georgia, and I'm in a Goldberg's kind of kosher style deli there. Nobody's saying, "Hey, you want matzo balls with that?" Doesn't happen. None of that. So I love going down to Georgia. I love the people in Georgia. I love everybody in the South. And I'm a big country music fan too. So yeah, the music from down there and
Absolutely.
everything is just
I'm more of that Southern rock and roll, but I like old traditional country as well.
yeah, yeah. So all right. So this week's what do you think? I'm talking to a lot of people, and this is exciting. Usually, this is the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania is coming up. That WrestleMania fever. Do you have it?
I
Why
don't.
not?
I'll be honest with you, Bill. I am. This is one of the first WrestleManias. There have been some before this. but this WrestleMania feels flat. I don't know if it's the lack of stories being told, or if we've seen certain things over and over again, or we just don't want to see certain things. But there's only, let me ask you just off the top of your head, what are the three matches you're looking forward to seeing on WrestleMania?
Well, I know I'm going to get a lot of booing, but Goldberg and Roman Reigns. I mean, of course, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Spear versus Fear, and everybody's saying Goldberg's not what he used to be, etc. But I'm watching it like a wrestling fan. I'm not watching it like somebody inside the business or an internet person that will knock everything. So I want to see that. I want to see John Cena against the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Um, gosh,
Now, are you having? I was waiting for that pause. Are you having to think of what another match is, or are you trying to think between matches which one to pull? Because I believe part of their problem is there's only a handful of matches anybody cares about, and most people don't care about every one, just one.
wait. Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch, they heated that up on Monday Night Raw. And of course, we'll bring the Elimination Chamber into that if we can, just for a second, where everybody is saying that they hated the women's Elimination Chamber match and what happened with Shayna Baszler. And not me. I thought it was, man, she was such a badass in that thing and roaming around that ring, just waiting for another one of those pods to open. But you
I,
know
I,
who? You
I
know
like
who?
the way that they handled that, but I do believe that she needs a little bit more work. Her presence isn't quite as scary as what I expected when she came over. When she was at NXT, she was amazing.
Oh,
But
I
now that she
know.
stepped into the bigger show, I get a feeling she's got a little bit of cold feet. She's not quite warmed up to being on the main roster yet.
See, I didn't see that when she attacked Liv Ullman and swung her into the cage those few times. I was like, oh my God, this is a shoot. And then when she took her over the ropes and was choking her out, I mean, so we want to get back to our question. I'm sorry I strayed a bit to it. And I liked most of the Elimination
Yeah.
Chamber, by the way. And thumbs up to Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak for putting on an old pro wrestling match. But so you're saying you don't have that fever. So me, if you ask me, what do I think? Because I got,
What
what
do
do
you
you
think?
think? Yeah, what do you think? WrestleMania to me was always the special glow, not just of the wrestling, but the
Right.
whole sports entertainment value of bringing in the celebrities. Now, maybe Mark Wahlberg will be involved this year somehow because of AJ Styles. Maybe Mark Wahlberg will secure the Undertaker's win over AJ Styles. I don't know. They don't need that, but it's celebrity. But they used to be this whole big thing where all the TV networks and everything had that WrestleMania fever, and I don't think we're there yet.
Well, do you think the times have changed so much now that maybe we won't ever see those early days of the pomp and circumstance that came with WrestleMania in the beginning? The Liberace's, all the movie stars, the big singers at the beginning, the big productions. Because to me, it feels like the productions have actually shrunk a little bit in
Yeah,
presentation.
yeah,
It's gotten design wise sharper, cleaner, and neater. But the the
right.
the overall just like wow, this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing. I don't feel that anymore.
Are you feeling? I mean, what do you think? Do you think that it just feels like another pay-per-view?
It does. To be quite honest, I don't feel like it's any other special pay per view than I've seen already.
Wow. So that's very interesting. It's always been the granddaddy, the biggest stage of them all, and the fact that they're bringing back Goldberg, The Undertaker, John Cena makes it extra special. But I just feel at this point maybe they're going to do something to uh, trigger something bigger out of this. But I just don't see the general media that always covered this. I don't see them taking the interest that they did um, years ago.
But they will if we get into, and I'm just going to bring this up briefly. The coronavirus could be an issue for
Sure,
WrestleMania because
sure,
travel is.
sure, absolutely. That's another thing I wanted to discuss with you is right now, WWE has no plans as of this recording date to cancel WrestleMania. There'll be close to 80,000 people, fans there, and you're going to go at your own discretion. And I'm not telling anyone not to go. You have to do what you want to do, but I'm just wondering how long this is going to be until the state of Florida says you can't do it here.
And that's a very big possibility. I've seen it happen during the day today before this recording. And I've seen where places have now started to say we don't want to hold events, we're holding back for a certain amount of time. Even New Japan, I understand, may be having some issues where they're
Yes,
having to close
yes,
down.
yes, yes, absolutely. So it's affecting everything. So we're both in agreement when we ask, what do you think, that WrestleMania just, yeah, it just doesn't have that grip on us that it should at this particular time. And let me ask you, what do you think? Here's another loaded question. Do you think that AEW, that the fever going on at AEW is taking away some of the excitement of, if AEW wasn't there, that this might be a little more?
I, you know, I, it, Honestly, Bill, if anything, I expected WrestleMania to be even bigger because of AEW. And it seems like they're kind of
Interesting.
sitting back more than they're giving us a big presentation. If
Yeah.
anything, this is WWE's time to make a huge statement on their storylines going forward for the year. And I don't feel like they're taking it any more serious than a regular pay per view.
Yeah, the Monday Night Raw, we're taping this the day after. Monday Night Raw last night had some very good uh, parts to it, but that eight-man tag team match at the end, didn't it seem like it was going on forever?
There were several problems with Raw last night, and I don't want to just bash on them because,
No,
look,
we're not.
I love all the works, and it's not against the talent that's in the ring. I think a lot of it's just storyline driven, and they're having a hard time getting the footing and developing new stars. And part of the problem, I did want to bring this up real quick, and I know we're running out of
Yeah, yeah.
time, but I did want to bring up that the one thing I think WWE may have made a mistake on, they started reacting to, they wanted to build the WWE brand as the biggest star. So they didn't want to have, let's say, the Stone Colds anymore, and they didn't want people like that that stood out that could really have a lot of
Yeah, the,
leverage.
the, the focal point star.
Yes, and now it's just like everybody's kind of that star that's made to be that star, but they don't have that same. This sounds crazy. They don't have that same star power feeling that we had from guys prior to them at this
Like
point.
the Hogans and the Bret Harts and the
Yes.
Ultimate Warriors, etc. Also, what they're doing with Randy Orton and Edge. Edge was really on fire last night, but that whole thing with MVP just kind of coming out of nowhere. I got tons of texts and emails saying, "What the heck are they doing? They bringing MVP?" So it's almost like, let's just try this, when it was always where everything was definite and things flowed. It doesn't seem as tight as it used to be.
One more thing, Bill. Great job on the little interview you got with Jake the Snake.
Oh, thank you very much.
That was a heck of a good grab right there.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I did
I can't wait to
literally,
see what happens on Wednesday night. He's
well,
actually, to me now, he's brought me even more into that program because I can't wait to see what Jake does next.
yeah, and I literally chased him through the lobby to track him down. He was getting ready to leave the building. So I also have an interview coming up with Matt Hardy, an exclusive interview, and he talks about the journey, and that will be posted before AEW there. And there's one title, and I don't want to give it away, that he kind of surprised me that he's interested in, but I don't want to.
Hmm.
I don't want to give it away right now. All right, Mac, where can people find you on social media? And if they want to email us a question of the week, and if we use it on the air, they will get a free old school magazine signed by me and a Best of the Apter Chat DVD.
They can simply send that question of the week to Apter Chat, question of the week, week@gmail.com. And you
Yes.
can follow me at Mad Mac Davis, and that's on Twitter, Facebook. And if you want to leave a comment on today's show, do it right down below here. We'd love to hear from you.
I'm not going to pull the Scott Hall line and say down where.
Down where?
Yeah, he tried to get me with that at big the big event on Saturday. He said, "Yo, Apter, I'm having a party." I said, "Where?" He said, "Down here." So, yeah, he hasn't changed at all. Thank you to all the people who came over to me at the big event. And well, that's it, Mac. So until well, right now we want to know, what do you think? So please leave a comment right here on onewrestlingvideo.com, or you can email us where, Mac?
After question of the week at gmail.com.
Okay, all right. For me, Bill Apter and Mac Davis, we'll see you
At the matches.